Ever wonder why that retail worker looks so dead inside when you approach the returns counter? You're about to find out. Those forced smiles hide a world of pain caused by the most insane return policies you've ever heard. And trust me, after working retail for 5 years, I've seen it all. Stay tuned because number 7 literally made one of my coworkers quit on the spot. 1. The 365-day no questions asked policy that asks all the questions stores love advertising their no questions asked return policies. But the reality, you'll answer more questions than a suspect in a crime drama. You'll spend 20 minutes typing in endless details while the customer taps their fingers and sighs dramatically. Meanwhile, your manager expects you to process this return and help the growing line of customers giving you death stares. You're thinking, well, that's just part of the job. But imagine doing this 40 times a day while getting blamed for the line being too long. Still think it's reasonable? 2. When customers return items they clearly used. For months, nothing makes your soul leave your body faster than someone returning a dress with makeup stains, deodorant marks, and the unmistakable smell of cigarettes. With the receipt from 89 days ago, 1 day before the return window closes. The worst part? Your manager will override your denial to maintain customer satisfaction. So you stand there, forced to smile and process a return for something that looks like it survived an apocalypse, knowing full well this customer does this every season with their entire wardrobe. Remember that party dress you saw last week? It's probably hanging in someone's closet right now, tag still attached, waiting for its big night out before making its triumphant return to your counter. 3. The systems are different nightmare. Here's a fun retail secret. Most major chains have completely different systems for purchases versus returns. That means when a customer buys something online and returns it in store, you're basically performing retail alchemy. You'll spend 15 minutes trying to locate an order in a system that wasn't designed to find it, while the customer insists the other store did it no problem. Meanwhile, your handheld scanner decided today was a great day to update its software, and your manager is nowhere to be found. Do you ever wonder why that retail worker looks like they're having an existential crisis while staring at their computer screen? Now you know. 4. The bring anything back policy that destroys inventory. Some stores allow returns without a receipt, giving store credit at the lowest selling price. Sounds customer friendly, right? But this creates a black market of return fraud that you, minimum wage retail warrior, are somehow expected to police. I once had to accept a return for a blender that wasn't even sold at our store. The customer insisted it was, my manager approved it to avoid conflict, and guess what happened to our inventory numbers? Complete chaos. And later, who got questioned about the mysterious blender credit? Not the manager. Think about it. Have you ever returned something without a receipt? The system might be more broken than you realized. 5. The special occasion return epidemic. Wedding season will break even the most optimistic retail worker. Nothing demolishes your faith in humanity faster than processing returns for 15 identical formal dresses on Monday that were all purchased on Friday. You know exactly what happened. That dress had its moment on Instagram, gathered its likes, and now it's back on your counter while the customer avoids eye contact. And the worst part? Company policy says you can't say a word about it. Has social media made us all into accidental scammers? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. 6. When return policies change. But nobody tells the customer, corporate will update return policies overnight and announce it through a single email nobody reads. Then you'll spend weeks as the unwilling bearer of bad news, telling customers they can't return items the way they used to. The customer service voice you need to maintain while saying, I understand your frustration, for the 50th time each day deserves an Oscar. Meanwhile, you're getting 1-star reviews with your name specifically mentioned because apparently you personally changed the company's entire policy structure. Remember that time you got frustrated with the cashier about a policy change? They probably went to the break room afterward and contemplated a career change. 7. The Make It Right Management Override. This is the one that made my coworker Jessica quit. After correctly denying a return for a clearly worn jacket with no tags or receipt, the customer asked for a manager. The manager not only approved the return, but gave a 20% discount for the inconvenience. All while Jessica stood there, company policy handbook essentially being shredded before her eyes. Why even have policies if they're instantly overridden? It creates a system where the loudest, most demanding customers get rewarded, and you look like the bad guy for following the rules you were trained to follow. Let's be honest. Have you ever asked for a manager to get what you want? You might be part of the problem. 8. The return policy that impacts your paycheck. Here's something most customers don't realize. Many retail workers have metrics tied to returns. Too many returns in your department or during your shift? Say goodbye to that performance bonus or even risk getting your hours cut. So when someone returns $300 worth of items you sold last week, you're not just processing a transaction, you're watching your already tiny commission disappear before your eyes. Next time you return something, remember there might be a direct impact on the person processing your return. 9. The gift receipt paradox. Gift receipts seem simple, but create retail nightmares. Customers expect to get cash back for items purchased with a gift receipt, not understanding the concept of store credit only. Cue the 15-minute explanation while they insist the person who gave them the gift would want them to have the money. The awkward conversations about store policies while someone is trying to essentially cash in their unwanted gift is retail purgatory. And during the post-holiday return rush, just surviving your shift counts as a victory. Be honest, have you ever tried to get cash for a gift receipt return? The look on that cashier's face wasn't just tiredness. 10. When you become the unwilling policy enforcer. The most soul-crushing part of retail return policies is becoming the face of rules you didn't create and probably don't even agree with. You're the human shield between corporate policy and customer frustration. You'll be called names, have people demand your job, and be treated like you personally wrote the return policy just to ruin someone's day. All while making barely above minimum wage and having to maintain that customer service smile. Next time you're frustrated by a return policy, remember, that retail worker doesn't control the rules. They're just trying to keep their job while navigating a system that often makes no sense to them either. So that's the behind-the-counter truth about return policies. If you've worked retail, drop your worst return horror story in the comments. If you haven't, maybe think twice before bringing back that never-worn shirt with mysterious stains. Your retail workers will thank you. Hit subscribe for more retail reality checks, and remember, a little kindness at the returns counter goes a long way. See you in the next video.